It was yesterday, this new comic book day.
Yes, Robin War came out yesterday, and that's a really cool kind of idea.
Do you see how they're advertising it with a Court of Owls mask, like a bloody Court of Owls, like a little bit of blood dripping off the Court of Owl mask? Gives you kind of like a hint that maybe they're behind this whole thing.
If you,
what do you think?
If you read Batman Eternal,
yeah,
which is kind of a lead up to this whole Robin.
The death of Batman again.
Yeah.
I mean, it was much cooler than
it is.
Quote unquote killed him.
But there's a couple of panels where some of the Robins,
the way they're drawn,
some of the Robins interact with this other character, Mother, who is this sort of ominous person.
This is in the We Are Robin?
No, Robin and Robin Eternal.
Oh, okay.
So Mother is kind of like the equivalent of the Court of Owls, but in Prague.
Oh, in Prague.
In Prague.
That's what they do over there.
That's what they do over there. And We Are Robin, that's another one that ties into this very well, because there's a couple of panels where some of the Robins interact with someone with, what do they call the Owl Assassins? The Owl Assassins.
The Talons.
Interact with Talon.
They're really nasty.
And some of the dialogue hints at he would recruit some of these Robins to be other Talons and take that Gotham from the criminal element that has arisen since Batman is dead.
Have you read it?
No, I have not read it yet.
I have read it, and I am interested. I will read more. I just like the idea of We Are Robin. That it's a movement, like this youth movement that we're going to work together and have this own little network, and we're going to fight crime. It's like that's kind of actually a very cool idea, which I hope. And it's like vigilante kids. Kids will do crazy. That'd be a great thing for kids to do in our fair city. I think it'd be great. Also, want to talk about some big things. Jessica Jones. Also, Frank Miller's given it one more whack. I didn't know if someone offered him a lot of money or what was the deal, but Dark Knight. Remember the Dark Knight? A new trilogy called Dark Knight
3:
The Master Race.
Oh yeah.
And it's got a backup story that's actually drawn by Miller. He didn't draw the main feature, but he's co-writer and someone else is drawing it. And you see some of the characters that were established in the second one. I got to reread the second series, which is very forgettable. And this one's turning out a little bit more cogent, a little bit easier. I think having a co-writer might help him focus a little bit better.
Yeah, and one of the things I thought was interesting is if you read the older Dark Knight stuff, they had the talking heads that were the news media.
Right.
Whereas the newer one, as opposed to having a lot of talking heads, you had social media. You had people using
with the texting. Yeah, I did like that. They had I seen him, which is CN. I seen him. ICN him, HM kind of thing.
Right.
So the texting is neat, and I like that when they use.
So it's kind of like where before he was taking a jab at cable news. Right. Now he's kind of taking a jab at social media and the culture that surrounds it. A little bit.
Mark Millar has a new movie property. A new comic just came out. New comic, just #1, is called Huck, like Huckleberry Finn, Huck. And it has that kind of down-home, did you read it? Down-home. It has this kind of a feel to it. It's almost, it's got a very Smallville kind of a feel. And the main character does seem to have superpowers. But I can see where it's going to go really badly quickly. Mark Millar's not going to let this guy be happy. By this time, I'm sure by the second issue, he's going to be a very unhappy man. And but he's very wide-eyed, complete, full wide-eyed, blonde hair, built like Superman kind of thing with the overalls, and he just wants to do good deeds. Like he was raised to do good deeds. So people around the town, he does good, and they don't tell anybody about it. It's like the town's best kept secret until that pesky reporter comes in one day,
right?
And she's saved by Huck. And she wants to know more about it, so we can't tell people. No, it'll ruin everything. It'll wreck everything. And that's what's going to happen. It's going to be I'm sure it's going to be a big media giant thing. It'll just make, James Bond is on issue #2, just came out yesterday. Warren Ellis is writing James Bond. Now, if you want something like a science fiction and you have a little plot to it, Warren Ellis can write. Claws. Klaus, Claus. Written by, you ready? Hold on to your pants, Grant Morrison. Now, what did you describe it as?
I thought it was like a year one,
Year
for Santa-
zero.
or year
Year
zero
1, 0.
for Santa Claus. Santa Claus
An
was
origin
really this
kind of
witty
thing.
kind of, takes no nonsense from no one.
It was, the kind of age back then. It's back in the day, it's that kind of thing. And it's kind of a spoiler here, a little bit of a spoiler here, not too bad, but I like the fact that he's like tripping. At one point, he's tripping on something. He's hallucinating about how he's going to give the toys. I'm going to make these toys. The toys are talking to me. I thought, that's just hilarious. Grant Morrison,
Well, apparently, that whole
that-
scene with those little light.
We thought it was a vision at one point.
Right.
No, he's tripping.
Apparently, that character is from another book.
A
And he
Grant
wrote
Morrison book?
Another Grant Morrison book where there's light entities that live in the woods.
I have to look real quick, I would also mention KFC, the kernel of two worlds, where you know how they have the world where Ultraman is, and they have the Forever Evil series, you have Ultraman and all the evil version of
Right.
Justice League. Well, on that world, there's an evil Colonel Sanders. Show this, when we flash it on the video, you'll see it. It's just amazing. And then there's one part where he's shooting the evil nugget gun at him or something. He's like, the white suit's all covered, and he grabs the white suit and he rips it off, and underneath is another white suit. He's all it's just the best. That's hilarious. I mean, for a little light entertainment. Well, they've already started up with the new titles.
Right.
And here comes, and I want to talk about post-Secret Wars, even though it's not quite finished. They have some post-Secret Wars titles that came out just this week, which I thought were pretty good. One's called Spidey. Now imagine Archie and Spider-Man. He's back in high school. Okay, he's back in high school. So they're not super tight with the continuity if we're going to have a title like this, Spidey. It's not
Right.
really part of the regular universe. So we're still kind of breaking up the universe, which they should have done in the first place instead of saying, we broke the universe. Which, anything excuse to do that. There's one called Totally Awesome Hulk. Totally Awesome Hulk. Now, I don't know if you know Amadeus Cho.
Yes.
Amadeus Cho is now the Hulk.
Okay.
Okay, that's why it's totally awesome.
Okay.
And for your mnemonic cool trick, Frank Cho is drawing it.
Okay.
He was one of the best anatomy artists. Liberty Meadows, you may recall, it was about the one gorgeous girl and a bunch of cartoon animals that she talked to.
Okay.
It was a funny strip, but again, he draws women very well. He's had a lot of practice. He's been a cartoonist over the years. They're bringing back that dinosaur. Remember Devil Dinosaur?
Yeah.
It was a Jack
Kirby
thing. They're bringing.
Boy and Devil Dinosaur.
It was like he's a Moon Boy, right? Because
Right.
the Moon Tribe, and he was the
Right.
Moon Boy. He's kind of
Moon Boy.
like half hairy, kind of like a
Half
Cro-Magnon,
hairy.
ape boy.
Right.
Right. So the new series is called Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, and somehow Devil Dinosaur is brought to modern times.
Well, he was in
now,
Modern Times the next
I mean, like present day.
Okay.
And the little girl has some kind of control over him because she's a moon girl. Her name, they call her Luna, so
Okay.
Moon Girl. But I don't know how that's going. Coming soon, and this is they have it on every title, on every one of the DC pages. Like the second page, boom, giant spread. When you pick up your stuff, you know what I'm talking about. It's a huge spread, and you'll see this in a minute. I'll put it on there. You'll see Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles combined into one title. It's IDW and DC. Now IDW has been taking things like the Transformers, the Turtles.
There's a couple of
They have a lot of properties. They had Thundercats for a while, didn't they?
cats. I think they do Star Trek. I think.
Star Trek. Yeah, they might do Star. Well, they have all these properties, and they're really running with story. It's great, fun, and they're doing a great job with Teenage Mutant
the
Turtles.
Apes and the crossover with
Planet of the Apes, Star Trek,
Star Trek.
and they did a Star Trek crossover with the Green Lanterns. So that's an interesting. That's just finished up. The Green Lantern, Star Trek. But again, IDW, DC, they're buddy. It's good for IDW.
Right.
That's for sure for them. DC's gonna bring in. Hey, well, we'll bring in this turtle because everyone loves the turtles. They ain't got them. Let's bring them in. So that's just a good idea all around, and the artwork looked good. You'll see from the page I flashed.